Sorry I lost you there. So we're putting those rubber grommets on, and all they do is kind of cushion the radiator. So now the radiator's in place, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna secure it with my brackets so it's not moving around and I'm not fighting it. So what are you guys doing right now? Chilling at home? Or are you watching this video like weeks after you should have watched it? Important thing is you're watching it. I'm feeling my grommets. Looks like everything's setting right. Got my 10mm socket over here. You know, I rarely run a socket wrench without an extension. Whenever you have an extension, you know, you always get your hand clearance from the part. When you run just the socket, your hand tends to be so close that it never works. Sometimes you have to do that, but when in doubt, run an extension. When you can, run an extension. All right. Our radiator's secured, nice and tight. So I'm going to work my way from the bottom to the top, because we start from the bottom, now we're here. All right? Okay. So I'm pulling my plugs. See, I just plugged this off with a socket so I didn't lose a bunch of fluid. And it's kind of created a pretty tight seal, so I'll get my pick to break the seal. Got that guy on. Huge thing to remember when you're doing hoses is you always got to remember to do the hose clamp. You know, don't forget, don't put on your hose and then forget to tighten your hose clamp. Sometimes you put on the hose, it looks like it's done, but if you don't get that hose clamp on, it's gonna leak or it's gonna come off and cause you a lot of problems. Alright, so we got both hose clamps on. We can do our lower radiator hose. You know, I take my finger, make sure there's no crud in there. And there is. So I'll get a rag. Clean out that hose clamp, or that hose I should say. Got our hose on, I'll tighten our clamp. You can't see it, but I got the car on a lift. This is a job you really don't need a lift, but the thing that's nice about the lift is I can lift the car up so it's a nice working height for me. So I'm not bending over too bad. I can stand up straight or put my body on the car. And then when the car's a little raised, I can get a fluid pan underneath it without struggling to get under there. Alright, lost you guys. Lost you. My videography skills are definitely, you know, I'm not Werner Herzog, if you guys know who that is, but they'll get better with time, or hopefully you'll get back in school and I don't have to video. And hose clamps can be a struggle. You know, they're definitely a challenge sometimes when they're in an awkward spot. But it's not complicated, it's just difficult. And one thing you really want to make sure is, you know, this is where your hose goes. And a big mistake a lot of beginning mechanics make is they'll put their hose on there and their clamp will be out here and not on the nipple. You need that clamp to clamp here on the plastic. If you're out here, you're just constricting flow and the hose clamp's not doing anything. There's a lot of jobs I fixed when I was a boat mechanic from other mechanics doing that. Put the hose on, clamped it, but they clamped it too far out and not on the plastic nipple. So you always want to make sure you get that hose clamp over the plastic. Okay. All right, there we're set with that guy. Got this breather valve right here, so I'll put that on. And I'll just check in with you guys later.